French macaroon cookies seem like a special cookie and one that you can only maybe buy from a special little bakery. But why? They're quite simple, and I think once you make them at home, you're going to find they're easy too. This month's Cookie of the Month is a French macaroon cookie, and in honor of Valentine's Day, it has a raspberry Swiss meringue buttercream filling. I think you and your special someone are going to love these cookies. And don't worry, they're a cinch to make. To start, you need 3/4 cup of almond flour. I use Bob's Red Mill almond flour, which you can generally find in your health food section at your local grocery store. And 1 cup of confectioner sugar. This is kind of an interesting step. You need to make sure to press both of these ingredients through a fine sieve or sifter. You want this extremely fine when you fold it into the egg whites later. As you can see, putting the almond flour through a strainer takes some time. Quite a bit of time. But don't worry, these are going to be absolutely worth the effort. Now we just need to whisk our egg whites. Once again, this is extremely easy with an electric mixer, so I urge you to use yours if you have one. Or go and buy one if you don't. Fitted with the whisking attachment, I'm just putting 2 egg whites right into the bowl. Whisk the eggs until just foamy, and then add a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. After the cream of tartar, whisk to soft peaks, and then add a 1/4 cup of baker's sugar or caster sugar, also known as superfine sugar. Once the sugar is added, increase the speed and whisk the eggs to stiff peak form. Our egg whites are whisked to stiff peak form. You can test that by just taking the beater, getting some egg whites on it and turning it upside down, and you want to make sure a peak stays stiff. We're going to put those directly into a glass bowl. Now we just want to add our dry ingredients to our egg whites. Sift them on top again. This is just to ensure there are no lumps. See why we did that? Get all those lumps out. But you don't need to waste them, just push them through. Once you sift the dry ingredients over the egg whites, start folding. You don't have to worry about beating it too vigorously. This isn't one where you have to worry about the air bubbles getting out of the whites. You want to really well incorporate it, and you want to get shiny and glossy. That will take about 3 to 5 minutes of folding. Since these are for Valentine's Day, we're going to add some red food coloring. You can tint it any color you want and go as dark or light as you want. You may want to go a little darker than you think, just because once they bake, they'll turn out a little lighter. I'm starting with 5 drops. I'm also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of almond flavoring, just to bring out that almond flour. Once you're done folding, you're going to put the batter directly into a piping bag. Just fold it over so you don't get the edges that you're going to be holding all dirty, and then put it right into a tall glass to hold it up as you put the batter right into it. Once you have it in your bag, fold up the sides, twist the top, and then what I love about these disposable bags is you can just cut the tip to whatever size you're wanting it to be. Once it's cut, just start piping them out. Make them about 3/4 inches to 1 inch in diameter is all. It will make plenty of cookies, and remember, they're sandwich cookies, so for every 2 you only get 1 cookie. You want to pipe these directly onto parchment-lined baking sheets. You do not want to grease pans ever. Grease reacts very badly with meringues, and they won't set up correctly. Don't worry about having all the sizes be exactly the same. Once they bake, and you're going to start assembling them, you'll be able to match up the sizes to make sure they go together. See, piping isn't so hard. Once you've piped out all your cookies, you just have to let them rest for 15 to 30 minutes. They need to get slightly dry on top, and this is what gives macaroons that perfectly smooth top, because it stays dry and it puffs up as they bake. So, in 15 to 30 minutes we'll bake these. But while we're waiting, we're going to make the Swiss meringue buttercream raspberry filling. To start, using my electric mixer bowl, I have a 3/4 cup of superfine sugar, and I'm going to add 3 large egg whites to the bowl. Now I'm going to whisk the egg whites with the sugar on a kettle of simmering water. This is just to heat them up and make sure the sugar fully dissolves. That's what makes a Swiss meringue slightly different than a normal meringue. Once the sugar is dissolved, attach the bowl back to the mixer and start whipping the egg mixture. Also add in a teaspoon of vanilla. Whip until shiny and glossy and the eggs have become at stiff peaks. This will take anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. Slowly add in 2 sticks of room temperature butter, 1 tablespoon at a time. You want each tablespoon to become completely incorporated before adding the next. This will ensure a smooth and creamy Swiss meringue buttercream. Once all the butter is incorporated, add 1/3 cup of black raspberry jam. You can also use raspberry or any flavor you'd like these cookies to be. Whip to incorporate, and then place directly into a disposable or reusable pastry bag. Bake the macarons at 375 degrees for 10 minutes. Pull out of the oven and let cool on the pan. Using a 1/2 inch opening on your pastry bag, pipe the desired amount of buttercream onto each sandwich cookie. I use about a tablespoon per cookie. You're probably going to want more because it's so delicious. Put the cookies together and then let cool. They're ready to eat and enjoy. As you can see, French macarons do take a little bit extra time, but they're definitely worth the effort, and they're not impossible to make at home. You can do this, and I'm excited for you to try these. I think your significant other is going to really enjoy them too this Valentine's Day. Enjoy!